cuties. An American has been named one of Britain's most influential women. No, not Beyonce, it's our new Duchess, of course, Meghan Markle. She, along with singer Dua Lipa and Scottish Tory leader Ruth Davidson, made the inaugural list, the Vogue 25. The Queen and Theresa May, however, are nowhere to be found. Neither am I, for that matter. I'm guessing that was just a misprint. I'm Sharon Carpenter, your quintessential quizzer, and this is HQ Trivia, where your brain matter can get those pockets a whole lot fatter. And the rules here are simple. I'm going to ask you a series of questions from easy to hard. You have 10 seconds to tap the answer. You get it correct, you move on, answer all 12 right, and you win or split the cash. Do not forget, inviting friends to HQ using your code can score you extra lives. You can use one per game, just not on the final round. And today we are giving away an aspirational £1,000. That's enough to buy a little power and respect, to wield influence on a shopping spree, and prominence down the pub. But before you smack it, you've got to stack it. Let's get to the quizzing, shall we? Here we go with Q1. Which of these is an obsession? A bee in one's bonnet, a wasp in one's wig, a hornet in one's hat. That thing you keep going on and on about. They're all going to result in a headache, but which of them doubles as a popular phrase? Buzzing around the front of your car is a bee in one's bonnet. Who's buzzing on? 118,000 of you are to the next round. Having a bee in your bonnet means you keep talking about something again and again because you think it's very important. Q2, which of the following do not grow on trees? Apples, acrobats, acorns. Apparently money doesn't grow on trees either, or so my mum says. 3 things you can find hanging from branches, but which of them climbed up there in the first place, doing backflips and reading PDF files? Acrobats, of course, don't grow on trees. 116,000 of you doing a backflip onto the next round. If you got that one wrong, for the love of God, put down your phone and venture outside, people. Live life. It's shout out time. Yes, it is. A very happy birthday to Lamar Laidlaw and Beth Lloyd, celebrating together today. Enjoy, guys. Hello, Charlie, Ellie, and the rest of the Horizon squad at Bristol Uni. Hi to the Wolf and his cubs in Wandsworth. Also to Josh Nerney, Kez Green, and David Eels as well. Good luck to all of you players. Moving on to Q3. Which of these is a song from Disney's The Little Mermaid? Under the Sea, Shark Attack, I Like Sushi. They all sound viable. That all makes sense. It was quite the submerged songfest, but which of these made it onto the Deep Sea playlist? Stuck in my head all over again now. It's Under the Sea. You like my voice, don't you? 112,000 of you loving my singing voice there. Sebastian's catchy number won an Oscar in 1990 and put a whole generation off eating seafood. Q4, which of the following programs is classed as a mockumentary? Game of Thrones, The Office, House of Cards. I don't mean to mock you, but do you know what a mockumentary is? It's a comedy that's shot like a documentary, so that's a no to Game of Thrones on both fronts. Ricky Gervais's workplace cringe-a-thon is The Office. Absolutely love The Office. And how many of you David Brenting it? 102,000 of you. The UK original ran for just 2 series. Can you believe that? Well, the US version is coming back for a 10th go this year. Bring back the British one. Q5, the entrepreneur and musician Steve Pandy is credited as popularizing which item of clothing? Hoodies, Ugg boots, onesies. Some of these I would wear, some of these I strictly would not. They're the staple of music festivals, but Steve didn't put hoodies in the spotlight. More hipster than hood is adult onesies. Who loves their onesies? 55,278 of you do. Toddlers and babies have been wearing them for decades, but Pandy and his band squeezed into some back in 2001. Hopefully they were able to squeeze out of them again. Q6, the miniature war game Chainmail inspired which game? Battleships, Call of Duty, Dungeons and Dragons. Have you played Chainmail before? That could help you on this one. Chainmail is great at deflecting swords, but it won't protect you from Call of Duty's voice chat, beards and basements, Dungeons and Dragons is your winning answer. 34,592 of you breathing fire here on Q6. Gary Gygax created the game Chainmail and carried many of its elements into his later creation D&D. Q7. Which city does Bella move from in the beginning of the Twilight series? Jacksonville, Phoenix, Port Angeles. Can you believe it's been 10 years since Twilight first began, 2008? Well, it certainly wasn't acting school, but which of these places did Bella sulk in from? As mythical as her love interest, it was Phoenix, Arizona for the win. And we have 17,152 of you rising from the ashes. We lost about half of you there on Q7 halfway through the game. Bella moves back to her birth town of Forks in Washington, but wooden stakes may have been a better choice there. Q8, when was the online check-in for flights first introduced? 2001, 1999, 2003. An online check-in is a blessing. Kubrick promised us fancy a future, but were we skipping through airports in 2001, checking into the noughties ahead of time? It was 1999. That's when it first became available, and that was pure savagery here on Q8. More than 15,000 of you gone, just 2,044 if you're partying like it's 1999 right now. Online check-in was first offered in the second quarter of 99, and we've been almost missing our flights ever since, cutting it close. Q9, in which of these languages are bats roughly translated as hairless rodents? Italian, French, Spanish. Bats are quite cute when you see them close up. They all ignored the wings, but who focused on the bat's baldness instead, giving their version of Batman a chrome dome? It's the French. French is the answer we were looking for here on Q9. And that was a brutal question. 906 of you spreading your wings here. The Spanish for bat comes from little blind mice, while the Italians went with little evening one. Oh, how sweet. Q10. Owen Wilson made his cinematic debut in which of these movies? Armageddon, Bottle Rocket, Anaconda. You're doing that blue steel as you tap your answers. Wilson wowed his way through all of them, but which was his maiden movie, alphabetically last but chronologically first? It was Bottle Rocket for the win. 530 of you rocketing on to the next round. Bottle Rocket was also Wes Anderson's directorial debut. The two have now worked together on 7 films and counting. Quite the bromance there. It's the penultimate round, players. It's Q11. At which of these locations was Britain's first ever ice cream served? Hyde Park, Windsor Castle, Great Yarmouth. We all scream for ice cream. You're gonna scream if you get this wrong too. You just have to follow the music to get it these days. But where was the only place to get your frigid fix in 1671? For His Majesty's mouth only, it was at Windsor Castle. That's where 168 of you have the scoop. Defrost those brains, because we're scooping our way to the final round. 168 players in the game, 21 additional players using their extra lives to get back in. £1,000 up for grabs as we speak. Let's do this. Q12. Which of these sporting events is named after a pioneering World War I fighter pilot? Le Mans, French Open tennis, Tour de France. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Roland Garros made the first successful flight from France to Tunisia, but which event's full name contains his name? The cars fly past at speed, but it wasn't Le Mans. Despite never picking up a racket in his life, is the French Open for the win. And we have 95 winners. You smashed it. Congratulations to our 95 winners this afternoon. You totally slayed it. You are taking home £10 and 53p. We've got Zoe Hart. We've got Did I Win? Yes, you did win. And you're looking quite shocked there, but you won. Simon 15, we've got Abby Burness and a bunch of other winners as well. What are you going to do with the cash? Maybe get yourself a onesie. We all need a onesie in our lives. Feast on some ice cream like a true royal. There's a lot you can do with that £10 and 53p. Another great game, Down My HQTs. You came, you played, and you totally slayed. I'm Sharon Carpenter, and you can find me on the socials in the usual place. Come say hello. Let me know how you got on today. And of course, we've got more cash coming up later today. I'm back at 9 p.m. for another chance for you to get your mitts on £1,000 sterling. That's right. And until then, have a great day, my lovelies. I'll see you in a few. Bye.